Hey everybody, welcome to Northern Thailand and welcome to Warm Bin Weekends Week 18. Now, Bin 1, it's ready to go back in service. Unfortunately, it was a complete and total failure because I was not able to achieve the heat cycling that I was looking to achieve and got a little overzealous with the steamed rice. It looks like a cake. It doesn't smell like a cake, but it looks like cake batter. And I gotta tell you, it has got an anaerobic, just make you want to retch type of like smell. So what you're gonna see me do tonight is just get it prepared with as many resources as I can in the way of some compost, what little bedding I have left, and some crushed up dry leaves. Now, the reason that I don't have that much bedding anymore is my little hand crank grinder here. Strip the gears, putting too big of pieces through it, so I have to get a new one. That's fine, that happens. So I've got limited bedding to go ahead and amend to bin 1, but we're gonna make it work anyway. But I also am almost out of dry leaf material because I gathered up about 5 gallons worth of dry crushed up leaves to put into bin 1, because what I was trying to do at the very end of its cycling was to take away all the headspace that was above the bedding at the top of the lid by having that occupied with the dry leaf material. But it didn't work. And then on Friday it started raining. So I'm like, the grinder is broke. It's raining, so there's no more dry leaves I can get. Got a pretty good amount of dry leaf still left, hopefully from bin 1. Bins 2 and 3 did receive their own leaf top cover after the video shoot from week 17, but what a week. Anyway, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna take 100 worms from bins 2 and bins 3, and this is gonna kind of wind up being out of sequence a bit because I'm actually doing bin 1 first, but I'm going through bins 2 and bins 3 while I'm recording bin 1's video. So I will have already been through those 2 bins by the time that we get to those individual videos, and most likely what's gonna happen is I'm just gonna put some dry leaves on top and call it good. The main thing here is just to get everything back in sync, and so that's the goal here. But bin 1 is gonna definitely turn out to be more of a test than anything else, because I really don't know how well the worms are gonna do in those materials. They're very, very damp. They're, like I said, they're cakey, they're sticky, it literally looks like mud. Kind of like a lightish brown white mud. So we'll have to see how they do. And that's what it's all about. That's what we're here to do. It's week 18. Enough of my rambling. Let's get started. Okay. Surprises in here. Obviously this has gone down quite a bit, which was to be expected and hoped for. So I'll tell you something, with my my paper shredder having stripped its gears because I just was putting too much heavy stuff through it at once. This is the only bedding I have, and as nice as dry leaves are, they don't really absorb moisture like cardboard will. They do to a certain degree, but it's not the same. So we're going to take the majority of it out. It's gonna go back in eventually, but what I gotta do now is temperature check, because it's been a good 72 hours since we added the last rice, and things were looking really anaerobic, really mushy, almost the consistency of like a cake batter, which is what rice will do. I mean, rice is nothing but a starch. It's gonna break down, it's gonna turn to mush, and yeah, that's basically what we have. I got a feeling it didn't go the way I was hoping it was going to go, which was thermophilic. In fact, I can feel heat, but the outside of the bin wasn't generating a lot of heat just from the touch. The outside was maybe 80 degrees tops. So I don't know that we're really sitting on extreme heat in here. Like my guess is going to be that we aren't, but you never know. We'll have to see how it goes here. What a cakey mess though. This is going to take some work tonight to get the worms back in it, depending on if we achieve the heat we were looking for. It's really cold right now because it started raining on Friday and it's been raining ever since. It's almost, well, in fact, technically it's early Monday morning right now. So yeah, let's see what we got. Surface level temperature is sitting on 89 degrees. Hope you can see that okay. Room temp right now is sitting on roughly about 72. Enough depth now, I can almost go directly in. Well, it is definitely rising in temperature, but it's not going to hit 130 or 120, I should say. It right now is struggling to get out of the 80s. So this definitely did not go thermophilic. It has stayed mesophilic in spite of the leaf top it was given. It's barely 88 degrees. So this did not work. This failed. Which means I now have a lot of work to do because I am going to put the worms back in this. Tonight I'm putting this back in service, but what I'm gonna do, because right now it's just nothing but an anaerobic mess, is I need to bring in some more leaf material, some compost, and what little shredded bedding I was able to get put together before my before the paper grinder gave out. So that's what I'm gonna work on right now, and then I'm gonna be harvesting 100 worms from bins 2 and 3 each to repopulate this bin, and we'll go from there. But yeah, this definitely is it's very sad because this turned out to be a complete and total failure, which that's fine. I gotta tell you, I have never had so many problems in my life keeping worm bins. I never had this trouble before when I kept bigger bins, but ever since I've really been specifically trying to apply certain rules for these smaller bins. Well, I mean, you've seen yourself, I've run into all kinds of difficulties with these smaller size bins, but really this was not so much a difficulty as much as it was just a desire to try to show you guys how to cycle this thing properly. And it's not that it isn't cycled, it's definitely cycled, but the thermophiles, if they did in fact get in here, got in at a time when I wasn't able to monitor the temp. So, hard to say, but it's cycled as much as I can get it to now, and to go any further would just be ridiculous because, I mean, there's as much rice as there is bedding in here, and actually it's probably more rice now at this point than bedding. So going to get this put together with some cardboard at the bottom and all the other materials mixed in that I described before, and that's what I'm going to do right now, and then we'll get to bins 2 and 3. But yeah, this is definitely a disappointment. But again, you guys have got to see what failure looks like as well. The thing for me that's really discouraging about this is I've been keeping all this together, and by that I mean the chronicling of it. Been keeping the video of all this going back to before Christmas last year, which wasn't that long ago, but long enough. It's been almost a month now that I've been, trying to keep this going, and yeah, it definitely did not work the way I was hoping for it to. What a mess. So let me go ahead and get started on mixing some other things into it so it's ready to be populated by the worm skin, and we'll go from there. So bin 1 is going to get a nice cardboard bottom to help absorb some of the moisture. It's going to get what little bedding I was able to get shredded before the gears on the shredder got tweaked. And it is getting a full whack of compost. It is going to need this grit because without it, I don't even trust putting the worms in. So first and foremost, this one, Let's dig in. Oh yeah, it's a sloppy anaerobic mess, let me tell you. Woo! Look at that rice. Yep, there's a lot of food in this bin, but it is anaerobic. So definitely got to do this, as nasty as it looks. That is bedding, believe it or not. This mush, it is bedding, but yeah, it's just nasty. So let's bring it back over. And it's cold right now because of the rain. So this bin is not going to get any hotter than it's gotten, thankfully. But yeah, it is mushy. It is nasty. Woo. Yeah. I'm getting a new shredder probably within about 10 days. And in the meantime, whatever I can get a hold of that even looks remotely close to bedding is going to be going in. All right, so first we got to bring everything back over here so I can pull it through, because it is a wet, sloppy mess. I may not even be able to, it's sticking pretty good. I'll give it a try. There we go. Come on. Get over here. When this thing is all said and done, as far as the level of the bedding, the food, and everything in here, it's going to be about the same as what's going on in bins 2 and 3 right now. So I will not be bringing over, as I had originally hoped and anticipated, anything from the other 2 bins. Come on. Yeah, the cardboard's already starting to break. This is such a mess. Ugh. Yep. That's gonna have some trouble. Let me I'm gonna have to do a little more than just my forearm to bring this in. Yeah, there we go. Instead of pulling, I had to push. So it was very necessary. Believe me. Yeah, you see how it got torn up over here? It's just a sloppy mess. That's okay. We're gonna fix that too. All right, so the way I'm gonna address this is it's going to go in layers to build back up again so that the worms have something to work with. Oh, it smells delicious. Obviously not. So the first thing is going to be some bedding in the way of leaves. A little bit of cardboard. I mean a very little bit because I haven't got that much. And then a small amount of grit. I'm being conservative here because I need this for the whole bin and I really want it spread through well. And then build it back up. Which won't be hard to do. Ooh. It has the consistency of like a cake batter, you guys. It's really nasty. But, you know, you live and you learn. Or in my case, you just never do. You just keep making mistakes. But at least they're new mistakes. I got way overzealous with the rice. Way overzealous with the rice. So as you guys can see, I'm just building it back up slowly because this is going to take a few layers to really, I mean, it's not even, it's just one layer. I shouldn't say layers, but it's just going to take some time to reestablish where this really should be. And it's going to be a wet mess like the other 2 already are. That's okay. This will make sense when I'm done. Right now it just looks like nothing but a mess, and it is. I'm gonna have to use some paper bag to clean off the sides when I'm done, because it is just a sloppy, slushy, nasty mess. I'm trying to get as much of it in the center as I can. Oh, I'm so sad that my little Chinese paper grinder gave out. The thing was so much fun. The one I'm getting is a regular one. It's an electronic one that I just feed everything through, and I don't have to sit and crank for hours. But I had a lot of fun doing that. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but I actually did. During the rainy season last year, that's what I would do in the evenings. I'd watch movies on Netflix and grind paper. It was fun. Had a good time with it. Oh, what a mess, man. This other side, the trick is going to be to just bring the rest of this over onto the top and then feed it over to fill in the gap. Still got a hunk of ginger in here I can feel that never did decompose. Interesting, since everything else practically did. Sorry about that. I hope the angle's better. Alright. This one we're going to just do one big side. What a mess, man. Tell you what, so much for showing you how to do this right. I can only hope. Yeah, it just has the consistency of cake batter. That's all this is just, it's gonna be cake batter for a while. And what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna give it a leaf cover. I'm gonna leave the lid off. Obviously, I don't want the worms being thrown into sludge. I'm gonna use the remainder of the things I do have, in addition to some of the leaf cover that I'll eventually will put on the top, to kind of clean this up with a bit. What I need right now is a brown paper bag to put on my hand and wipe the sides down, and I'll just tuck it in with everything else. So if you didn't know any better, you'd think you were looking at dog food right now, which frankly, dog food would probably be improving. Oh, do I have any paper bags here? Small ones? I do. Be right back. Do my best. You guys can see this better than I can right now. Alright, you know what? Good enough. Alright, now a little bit of leaf material. I've not done it yet, but what I am going to be doing is collecting 100 worms from bins 2 and 3 here in a little bit to put in to this bin. Hopes that I can get them to repopulate this bin. Let me tell you what, this is a nasty mess, guys. Now, the lids were off of bins 2 and 3 for about 5 days. And I only put it back on Friday after it started raining because it did get cold, and I thought, you know what? I just don't want the temperatures dropping so drastically that the worms start to have problems as a result. So I'm hoping that the leaf tops that I gave them about a week ago are enough to hopefully have kept things dry in there, or helped to start dry things out, I should say. Because it was like this, if you remember when we took a look at it. Not nearly as anaerobic, but still just as moist. So anyway, what you're gonna see now is you're gonna see me put in the worms from bins 2 and 3. That right there, let me see. That is 100 worms from bin 2. Look how small they are. Now, Noel over at World Composting and AV have been speculating for some time now that in the presence of babies, which I just had right back before Christmas, the adults do shrink, and I would have to say that they are right. We're gonna have to see how they fare in this new bin, but that's 100 worms from bin 2, so in they go. How small they are. Unbelievable. And that's an adult. I think that's it. Nope, one more. This is a baby. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I don't know if you can see him or not. Him or her. It. That's a baby. They're really small. It's amazing. Hoping they fare well in here. Now I need to get 100 more from bin 3. And that right there is another 100 from bin 3. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give a light covering of leaves in the spots where the worms are at. Sorry that I'm not doing time lapse for you guys to watch them work themselves in, but what's going to happen now with this bin, and in fact what's going to happen with all 3 bins, in spite of the fact that we've got rain and cold going on, is I'm leaving the covers off of all 3 of them. I have enough leaf material that after I get through digging through bins 2 and 3 that I should be able to give them some nice cover, and yeah, that's going to do it for all 3 bins. But we're going to take a look at bins 2 and 3 right now, and I really want to thank you for joining me. My hope here is that everything kind of balances out here in bin 1. Obviously, this has turned into more of an experiment than anything else, because I'm going to tell you something. This bin right here, it is extremely anaerobic. Even though I've mixed it up and I've added all these amendments of the compost and the dry leaves and obviously what little material I have left from the bedding I normally make. The main thing here now is just to try to see if we can't get this to balance back out. So I want to thank you for joining me today. If you haven't already, please do like and share the video. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I'd really love it if you'd give consideration to doing that, and hit the bell notification icon so that you can be alerted when I upload new content. And wherever you are in this world today or tonight, you take care. Bye for now.